good to see you again.
Okay, and you?
Yeah. Would you like to tell us a bit about how do you end up in Rome?
Why did I come to Rome?
Yeah.
I came to Rome for a less hectic lifestyle than that of London. I love art, culture, and the city is full of that. Also, I wanted to learn the language, which, okay.
How's that?
I'm not fluent, but I can get by quite well. I wanted to learn about Italian cooking, understand the different food types. I've managed to do that, which is good.
Do you cook?
Of course I cook, yes. I can cook all international, well, most international food, yeah. And yeah, I mean, as much as I love my city, London, but I'm between here and London. So I get the beauty of both worlds, or both cities.
Yeah. So you grew up in London, right?
I grew up all over the world.
Oh, well, tell us about that.
So, I mean, I was born actually in the north of England because of my father's job. I lived in the USA, Seattle, around there, Washington, short period of time, Canada, short period of time, Hong Kong for a year. I went to boarding school in Hong Kong for a year. I was in Japan for 6 months. I was in Rauma, north of Helsinki, for a year. And then obviously as I got older, I was located back in London.
So, but you lived around Europe as well?
Yes, I lived between Greece, Cyprus. I spent some
Greece
time.
and Cyprus.
Yeah, but I was between the two, but my main home was in Cyprus. And I spent 1 year living in Spain with my cousin.
Spain where?
In Marbella.
You just know how to pick away. So, how's Rome compared to Spain or Cyprus or Greece? Greece where? I'm sorry. Greece,
Athens.
Athens.
And Saloniki.
Well, that's a great comparison. So, Rome versus Athens.
Okay, Rome for me versus Athens is that Athens doesn't have, for me personally, the beauty of monuments that Rome has and the architecture, okay? But the difference is with the people. The people are, it's my personal opinion, I find Greeks, you get good and bad in every country, okay? Every city, it's got its good and bad. But the people are quite happy-go-lucky people in Athens. You know, they're very open, and you really can get to know them. That's my personal opinion. Someone might think something different.
How do you get to know them?
But they are, when you say get to know them, it's like here, I've been living here on and off now, about 8.5 years, on and off, okay? And I've got some friends, but my Italian friends, they're not all from Rome, they're from the north. The difference for me is that generally, Romans in particular, I'm not saying all Italians, I find that on the surface, they can be quite nice, polite, friendly, but on a surface, you don't always get to know them, especially for me as a woman, getting to know other women. In Athens, I found, well, no, in Cyprus more than Athens actually.
Yeah.
You get to know Greeks on the surface, and behind that, you really get to know them.
It's a big city, so it's a completely different.
Yeah, but I've also got Greek friends, and I think Greeks are more what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Whereas I find Romans, what you see isn't always what you get. People can be nice to your face, but they're not always going to be upfront.
Right.
Okay, I think that the differences between those two cultures, maybe, I think Romans are, because they come from a very well-known and renowned capital city, they're very proud people. I'm not saying people in Athens aren't very proud. If I compare also Rome from London, Rome to me it's a city, but it's like a big town for me. So people are probably more not, they don't get that close to foreigners that live here.
Okay.
Because they always, I understand, or I get the feeling that they think, all right, they're going to leave at some point, so why why get to know a foreigner that well? Whereas maybe in Athens, they're more open on the situation, whether you stay or wherever you leave. I mean, I've left Athens and also Cyprus for many years now, but my closest relationships are still there with my female friends.
Okay.
So I'm talking as on a female, not meeting a guy, I'm meeting
How is Rome for making friends?
Sorry?
How's Rome for making friends?
I think I mean, for me, I'm a very open person anyway, because I've traveled so much. So I'll just speak to anybody. I believe that I'm quite open, and people are okay for chit-chat. But I think as a woman making another woman friend, I find it quite difficult. I do find it quite difficult.
But however, I watched the room as you walked in your fur coat, and you made quite an impression here. So just tell us whatever you can share about your friendships and relationships and how you see men here.
With my female friends that I have here, Italian female friends that I have here, I find them very warm, very nice. They're always there for me if I need help. They are supportive. My close Italian friends, female friends. And I've got a very good male friend that is like a brother. We've been friends now 10 years, so yeah, that's good. Relationships, no, I don't really date Italian men.
Oh, okay. I know, but let's see
you
now.
know. Okay, so how are you going to go?
Yeah, I know what you think. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
But let's
Why?
that.
No. Why? Okay, I don't have an Italian boyfriend. I have dated Italian men in the past. There's nothing wrong with them, but maybe it's just me, my culture, it's quite different. That because I've lived in Mediterranean countries, I am not strictly taken by the language of love and the expression. So maybe it's just me being cynical, okay? Why don't I date them now? It's as I've got older. I like challenges, and I find that I feel, and not just me, other people have said this as well, foreign ladies that have been living here a long time, they get a little bit afraid of strong women, independent, not get maybe sometimes confused, not all, between dominant and independent.
So, what would be the main difference between dating and a man from London and a man from Rome? Is there like this common thread that you can single out?
Although actually I haven't dated a man from London for a long time, but I mean one of I think the differences here that I feel that are better for an Italian is that they're not down the pub drinking, okay, excessively, because Italians don't drink very much anyway. They are more homely. For me, I mean, you know.
But they drink with food. Okay.
Yeah, of course they drink with food, but I mean, like
a span of 3 or 4 hours. So.
Yeah. But I think that it's but with English guys though, they are more, but this is going across the board because everyone's different. But I find that with English guys, they're a bit more supportive if they have a person that's got a good job, that their partner, okay, they're more supportive. There's not she's doing better than me sort of thing.
In England.
Yeah, and also they are 50-50 generally in the chores around the house and in cooking.
So are you telling me that English guys cook better than Italian?
No, Italians cook better, of course, yes, but you were just asking me.
Cook more.
You were just telling me about the difference. You were asking me about the differences, and I mean, I've seen this with friends of mine that have either married to Mediterraneans, not just exclusive to Italians, whereas some will cook. But it's like, oh, well, the woman's job is doing this in the house and that's that. But in England, we're more 50-50. If we're both working, we both share whoever comes home first will cook the dinner, you know. Yeah.
So if I go to England, I'm not going to impress anyone with my cooking skills, right? Because they're used to guys cooking.
Well, yeah, generally, yeah. But generally in the UK, we're always doing takeouts, aren't we? We're either doing takeouts or we're doing microwave food because time is money and there's no time. I mean, that's the beauty about being here.
Tell me about the food here. So what's, oh my God, how do you compare food here in Greece and in Spain? At least in the part of Spain where you live.
Of course, you know, everyone says, and yes, the Italian cuisine is good. You know, there's a great choice there. It's not, I mean, people just get fixed on pasta and pizza. It's not all about that.
Yeah.
There are other things, yeah. But also, you know, with Spain as well. But the only problem with Spain is it has become a bit more commercialized. Whereas Italy has still stuck to its roots, I believe, yeah. I mean, Spain has got more commercialized. I mean, yes, the food is good, but I do think that the food, I feel the food is better in Italy.
So if you could pick one dish now, what would you have?
Oh, if I could pick one, I would have frutti di mare, spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, with the frutti di mare, yeah.
Which is seafood.
Which is amazing here in Italy.
Where do you normally have it? Ostia, where do you normally go for it?
I've cooked it myself, but but I also, where I live in Monteverde, I have a couple of good seafood restaurants up there. Yeah, which I prefer actually eating up in Monteverde rather than in the center of town.
Yeah. The center is
because it's more commercialized, yeah, and you get the real food there.
Basically, Romans almost never go to the center to eat it, you know, whatever. They stick to their neighborhoods.
Yeah, whereas also I believe that even when people are coming here, they should diverse and not just stick to the center. Try and look at the restaurants that are around.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend to anyone coming to Rome. Try different areas. Don't stick around the center.
No, but also, you know, someone deciding to live here for whatever reasons, I think that sometimes there's always going to be good and bad living in the city. I mean, for me, generally, I wouldn't have been here 8.5 years if I didn't like it. You're always going to have ups and downs. But I just feel a little bit sad because it is a capital city and it should work a lot better than it does.
Yeah.
You know, people with public transport, things like that. The good thing is, yes, we don't pay as much here for public transport as we do in the UK. There's a vast difference.
Yeah.
But I would prefer to pay a little bit more here and it actually works a lot better. It needs to get more organized.
What's that wine you're drinking?
I'm drinking a Nebbiolo. Well, the one thing I have a passion for is my wine, and I do love Italian wines. Of course, the French are always saying about their wines, but I think now I've been living in Italy for quite some time and studied some of the wine. I actually prefer Italian wine to French wine. Yeah.
The good thing about Italian wines is pretty much everyone can afford them.
Yeah, they are affordable. Yeah, they are affordable also in this country.
A wine's not going to cost you arm and legs. So,
no, and the good thing about being in Italy also is that you don't really get the measures, restrictions that we have in the UK. When you order a drink, they pour it in. You only drink beer in the UK. Okay, I'm not really a beer drinker, but no, they do give you a decent glass of wine. Yeah.
Can we know about one single? Tell us a story about dating some Italian guy. Tell us a little story. Something you actually can't tell us. She's laughing.
All right, I've dated a few, but all right, one in particular. Okay. All right, it always generally starts out well, you know. They wine.
How does it start out?
No, I mean, you meet them
well?
wine and dine and things like that. It's not I'm expecting somebody to do that all the time, okay? And then I always think that it gets complicated. Not with me, but I find Italian men complicated.
Okay, what is it that gets complicated?
They always feel that maybe there's, even though I'm not a pressurizing person, they might feel pressure or they get afraid or they understand your character better, that I'm quite strong, independent, I go here, I do that, and then it starts to fizzle out. But also I get bored.
Okay, but where does the pressure come from?
I don't know. I really don't know whether maybe they think they have something to keep up with, or maybe I just haven't met the right one.
Is any of it maybe artificially created, just to create some drama?
Could be artificially created. I do think that they are more dramatic in their approach. Yeah, maybe a bit more dramatic. Yeah. It's
So
not
how does
always
this-
what you see is what you get.
Yeah, so how does the story go?
Well, it just finishes, doesn't it? You know.
Oh, so I thought you were going to tell us like one, specific story.
Okay, there was a guy.
Again,
All right, I'll tell you a strange story.
Let's-
Okay.
Make up a name.
All right, no, there was a guy. I don't have to say his name, and he was from the north of Italy, actually. Okay. Trieste is the.
Fabrizio.
Okay, Fabrizio.
Giuseppe.
I don't like that name.
Roberto. Stefano.
Okay, Stefano. From the north, way up the north.
All right.
The ultimate part of Italy, Trieste. Okay. Now, this guy was all full on when I met him. Okay, and I was a little bit, well, no, this is too much. Too good to be true. And then I'd never had this before, sending me lovely little pictures through my phone. Yes, of little hearts and things like that.
okay.
And for me, that was a little bit sweet for the first time. Then after a few weeks, I started thinking it was creepy. But you give benefit of the doubt.
Why would it be creepy?
Because I've never had someone sending me, bombarding me with messages like this, you know.
What is bombarding? How often is bombarding?
Like 8-9 times a day, sending photos, hearts, or little love videos with music, and I thought, oh, this is different. Maybe this is what they do up there, you know. And I went up there to see him. He used to come and stay with me, but there was always something strange going on, you know. It wasn't a problem with the language barrier. His English was so-so, but I can speak to him in Italian, yes. But then it became that, you've done a lot more than me. And you've travelled here, you've lived there, I've lived here, I've only been from A to B and nothing else. So maybe that was why it fizzled out. But the strangest thing is, though, now you talk about that, is that after 4 years of fizzling out, I got a wave on Facebook, Messenger. I'm like, no, don't go there. But there were other weird things as well, but I mean, yeah.
Should we ask about the other weird things?
No.
No, okay.
No, that's not going on YouTube. It's not nice.
I'm most interested in human interactions, like how do you interact with Romans as opposed to with Greeks, with whatever, English, Scottish, whatever, Brits.
I think the difference with interactions is when I go back to my own country, when I go back to London, interacting with my own people is very easy. It's not hard work because we are supposedly a polite breed of people. Customer service exists, and that's one of the things that I really, even after all these years I've been living here, I still get tired because it doesn't exist here, customer service.
It does, but it's optional.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be optional. Because what people say to me, but this is Rome, you know, and people don't really worry because they have so many tourists coming and going, so why have customer service? But you could also say that for London, they also have a lot of tourists coming and going. And the thing is, the customer service is going to be the same for me as it would be for a tourist.
What does it come down to then?
I think it comes down to that it's not instilled in the culture, or they haven't looked at the business side of it. So it's like this couldn't care less attitude because we have Rome and people will always come.
Is it not caring or is it acting that you don't care?
I think it's a genuine not caring. Well, I think it is a genuine not caring, because if you act as if you don't care, then you might do something about it. Because you've got to think that, yes, you've got people passing, but some people do come back, and you've got to look at recommendation. I mean, you can go into shop. I mean, this is a big difference for me, actually, because when I go into a shop in the UK, and all right, we talk about London because it's where I have my home, etc. People are polite, and they will, if they see you waiting to pay for something, where I've been in numerous shops throughout the years here, and I've actually wanted to buy stuff, and because I am understanding Italian, I remember one time I was in a shop and the girl was talking to her boyfriend, and I was the only one in the shop with a load of articles to buy. I was going to spend a few €100, and she couldn't even be bothered to come and see me, so I just left them. Yeah, well, work is work. You've got to get your priorities right. So these are things. Yeah, but these are things that, even though you have this beautiful city, you also have to move into the next century. It's nice to have the quaintness about the city and the relaxation of Italians. They're quite laid back, and and this is lovely, and this is what I quite like, because it's not a rat race like in London. But there again, you have to give a service in a shop.
True, but then again, you don't drive, right? Do you?
No, I don't drive here, and I don't want to drive here. Because I wouldn't drive here. Why? First of all, where I live, I don't really need a car. Secondly, owning a car here, for me, is twice as much money as owning a car and running a car in London. Okay. Secondly, I would be a bit scared driving here, because people don't respect the rules. And that's another thing. You have to respect the rules.
There are no rules.
But there has to be rules, especially with driving.
No, nothing wrong.
It's like I came back over Christmas, after Christmas, New Year, to where I live, and I was absolutely disgusted to see dustbins high up with rubbish. And what did my bar tell me? But they're on holiday. Well, holiday for 3 weeks. Excuse me, they have holiday, okay. They don't come around as regularly through a Christmas and New Year period in the UK. But the dustbins were emptied 2 days later. It's a health issue, not to have them stacked high outside, It was unbelievable for me, unbelievable, So these are the sad things when you live here. If you're a tourist, maybe you're not seeing that, because you're in a different area.
Exactly, yeah. You stick around the center, you don't see
You go around to the Vatican, it's going to be very clean, spotless, yeah? Okay, but I live in a nice area in Monteverde, but over the years I've seen how it's gone down a little bit, So, as living here, these are the things simple little things here that annoy you.
So, let's wrap it up with a single thing here that you love.
What do I love? I love just anywhere I walk around in Rome, I see some beautiful, amazing building. Yes, and especially more so in the summer, I love it because Rome is truly alive when they have those bancarelli, the stalls around the Tevere, because that is the heart of the city, and you don't find that anywhere else. Where I've been in Paris or Athens or Cyprus, you don't find that. And at night when everything is lit up, it is one of the most amazing cities like that. Yeah, and that's what I love, just to be able to come out, go anywhere, and you find little roads that you've never seen before. Structures of buildings that I actually pass sometimes quite a few times, and then I'm looking at, I didn't see that before. What's that?
There's always the element of surprise.
Yeah, Rome is always full of surprises, good and bad, yeah? But I think that's what the attraction is as well, to be here.
Dawn, thank you.
Thank you. We okay?